Jenny and I had planned a serene weekend at her family's cabin in Vermont, a perfect getaway for snowboarding and relaxation. Anticipating a peaceful retreat, we packed our gear, eager for a break from our daily routines. The quiet of the Vermont woods promised a tranquil escape, and we both looked forward to unwinding in the seclusion of the cabin. Light snow blanketed the ground upon our arrival, cloaking the cabin in a serene winter beauty. As we unloaded our belongings, I noticed a series of footprints in the snow surrounding the cabin. They meandered around the structure, disappearing into the tree line. Jenny and I assumed they were from a black bear, a common sight in these parts. We didn't give them much thought, settling comfortably into the cabin, oblivious to any potential danger. The day transitioned into night, and the tranquility of the cabin enveloped us. The peaceful atmosphere was exactly what we had hoped for. Later in the evening, I stepped outside to visit the outhouse, leaving the cozy warmth of the cabin behind. The crisp night air was refreshing, and the sky was dotted with stars. However, when I returned, a sense of dread washed over me. The cabin's lights, which I had left on, were now eerily off, casting the surroundings into an unsettling darkness. Confused and slightly unnerved, I approached the cabin with caution. As I drew closer, fresh footprints in the snow caught my eye, starkly different from the ones we had seen earlier. These were unmistakably human, leading directly to the cabin's front door. My heart raced as the realization set in. These footprints were new and belonged to someone or something far more concerning than a black bear. An intruder had been here while I was outside. When I re-entered the cabin, I found Jenny visibly shaken. She told me a man had been trying to get into the cabin. Reacting quickly, she cut the power and hid in the dark to protect herself. This revelation filled us with fear. We quickly grabbed whatever we could use for protection, preparing for a possible confrontation with the intruder. Throughout the night, we stayed awake, alert to every sound. The cabin, once a peaceful retreat, now felt like a trap. We were surrounded by darkness and silence, making us feel more isolated and vulnerable. Every noise seemed like a potential threat, and we were constantly on the edge, waiting for the intruder to return. As dawn broke, we left the cabin quickly. The daylight brought some relief, but the fear from the night lingered. Once we were safe, Jenny's father warned us not to return to the cabin for a while. The experience profoundly impacted us, leaving us with a deep sense of unease and a changed view of the wilderness. The serene setting we once loved now seemed to hide unknown dangers. This incident at the Vermont cabin stayed with us as a haunting memory. It changed our perception of the wilderness and made us aware of our vulnerability. The experience was a stark reminder that danger could lurk anywhere, even in safe and tranquil places. During the winter holidays, I, a 27-year-old man, checked on my blind father's condo amidst a heavy winter. My father, who lives alone due to his blindness, relies on me to manage his properties. As I approached the condo, I felt a sense of responsibility heightened by the severe weather conditions. Upon arrival, I immediately sensed something was amiss. The front door, usually locked securely, was unsettlingly unlocked. Stepping inside the silent condo, my unease grew. The sound of the footsteps echoed off the walls, amplifying my feeling of dread. The stillness of the place, usually comforting, now felt ominous. A chilling discovery heightened my alarm as I ventured into the condo. Fresh snow tracks on the floor. These tracks were a clear indication that someone else had been there. Following the tracks with a racing heart, I moved through the dimly lit hallway towards the bathroom. Each step felt heavier as the reality of a potential intruder loomed over me. Reaching the bathroom, I found the door slightly ajar, and the shower curtain, which my father always leaves open for easy navigation, was now drawn closed. Concern for my father's safety surged within me, fear gripping my chest at the thought that he might be in danger. Faced with the abnormality in my blind father's condo and the looming threat of an intruder, I quickly decided to call the police. My heart pounded as I dialed, the once comforting condo transforming into a nightmare scene. Despite the harsh blizzard outside, the police responded promptly to my urgent call. Upon their arrival, I led them through the condo, my anxiety mounting with each step. We reached the bedroom, and there, to my shock, was a man sitting calmly on the bed. His demeanor was one of resignation, almost as if he had been expecting to be caught. It turned out he was a resident from a nearby unit, someone who had been living so close, yet was a stranger to me. The police swiftly apprehended him. During the investigation, it became clear that the intruder had been observing my father's routines, exploiting his blindness. His intention was sinister. He had planned to rob my vulnerable father, believing his disability would make him an easy target. It was a chilly realization that someone would stoop so low to exploit a person's disability for their gain. The police charged the intruder with third-degree burglary, ensuring he faced legal consequences for his actions. Standing there, witnessing the arrest, a mix of relief and anger washed over me. Relief that I had arrived in time to prevent a potential tragedy, and anger that my father, in his own home, was not safe from those who sought to take advantage of his blindness. The incident deeply shook our family, especially the realization that our father had been targeted because of his disability. It served as a grim reminder of those potential dangers lurking close to home and the importance of vigilance, even in places where we feel most secure. During the winter of 2014, my father and I embarked on a journey to our new home, braving a severe winter. The roads were treacherously covered in snow, and navigating through the storm with my limited driving experience was daunting. The howling wind and blinding snow made it even more challenging, adding to the nervousness behind the wheel. As we progressed, my inexperience almost led to disaster. The car skidded uncontrollably on the icy road, slipping and sliding into a terrifying dance. Miraculously, I managed to regain control as we stopped with only minor damage to the vehicle. The sense of relief that washed over us was immense. We had narrowly avoided what could have been a catastrophic collision. Our relief, however, was short-lived. Out of the swirling snow, another vehicle emerged and pulled up alongside us. The driver, a man with an unsettling demeanor, made a strange claim. He insisted that we had dropped something on the road about a mile back and urged us to retrieve it from his car. His approach and the oddness of his claim set off alarm bells in my mind. Nervously, I stepped out of our car to investigate, but my father's urgent tone stopped me. He called me back with a fear-laced urgency that I had never heard before. As I stepped out of our car to investigate the stranger's claim, a mixture of caution and curiosity filled me. The stranger's insistence that we had dropped something felt odd and out of place. His demeanor was unsettling, and his arrival in such treacherous conditions seemed too coincidental. I approached his vehicle, my steps cautious, trying to make sense of the situation while keeping an eye on this mysterious man. Meanwhile, my father, still inside our car, observed something that immediately heightened the sense of danger. From his vantage point, he noticed the silhouettes of two men concealed on the other side of the stranger's car door. This revelation was chilling. It suggested a potential ambush or even a kidnapping attempt. His observation contradicted the stranger's solitary appearance and friendly offer of help. Realizing the imminent danger, my father called out to me with an urgency laced with fear. His voice, filled with alarm, cut through the howling wind, urging me to return to our car immediately. His tone conveyed a sense of imminent threat, and I could tell from his reaction that something was seriously wrong. Trusting his instinct, I quickly turned back, abandoning my investigation and hurrying to the safety of our vehicle. Eventually, we reached our new home. The relief of arriving safely was immense, but we were still gripped by the events of the night. As a precaution, we checked the trunk of our car, verifying that nothing was missing. This confirmed our suspicion that the encounter was likely a ruse, a dangerous deception disguised as a Samaritan act. Reflecting on the incident, I was immensely grateful for my father's quick thinking and protective instincts. His keen observation and timely warning had likely averted a grave outcome. We were both deeply shaken by the close call with danger, a feeling that didn't subside even as we settled into our new home. The incident remained etched in our minds as a haunting reminder of the evening's events.